today the season itself has gone from 3 months to almost 6 months. So what is tourism? Tourism is like a dove hovering and seeking peaceful destinations. On finding one, it will descend on it and also bring a message of peace. So tourists and tourism are the peacekeepers in today's world. And which is why, unlike any other industry in the world, tourism is by far the harbinger of peace and will avoid conflict at all costs. We should always keep this in mind, that tourism should never be neglected. And this is my conclusion. This is the connect between tourists and destination. Tourists are like the sun in the solar system, attracting the attention of the destination and attractions. Destinations are enclosed inside planet Earth, revolving and rotating around the sun. For 365 days, each tourist attraction has a theoretical chance of getting the attention of the tourist. Whichever destination comes up with the best product mix is more likely to attract a visitor. Mass tourism does not necessarily mean the destination is better than the rest. Grading in terms of arrival numbers is definitely a good indicator, but never the ultimate authority. Every tourist is different and is differing set of expectations, pleasure avenues, and set of verticals to measure his or her acceptance. The 10 most visited countries 10 years back are likely to change in 2030. In 2019, they were France, China, France, Spain, USA, China, Italy, Mexico, UK, Turkey, Germany, and Thailand. Transition always takes place, and like a relay race, the lead will always change. Hence, we must be hopeful and strive to make a better experience for our visitors day in and day out. What I'm trying to say is, slide number 2 that I showed you was, is tourism subjective or objective? My conclusion is that tourism is both subjective as well as objective. It only depends how you look at it, but I think there is no better way of understanding it than to accept this particular norm, that tourism is ultimately subjective and objective. We cannot say that bigger numbers means a destination is better. Neither can we say that no one coming to that particular destination means it is unwanted. So let's hold our heads high and look forward to the next set of visitors, tourists, and making new products for them all the time. So this is a little bit of my company. Our activities of our company is we are into inbound tours, retail travels, international representation. We have some new modules called Travel Learn now, and our website is lorienttravels.webnode.com. See, sometimes you can make an abstract look totally real. For example, here you're seeing the Emerald Lake, which is about 20 kilometers from Ooty, at a place called Red Hill, where you see the map of India depicted on the lake. And this is one of the most beautiful sights I've seen during my visits. This is what I feel, and I hope that this particular site will remain forever the same way as it is. The pictures were produced by me, and this event was produced by Rita and myself. Thank you very much for your attention. Wish you all a pleasant day. Okay, thank you very much. I do hope you enjoyed it. And now we could like to take on the questions for this event. Rita, did you get any questions from the chat?
Yeah. The one at the beginning is like, can you elaborate on tourism as a vehicle of peace?
Oh, question answers nadita ive ಮಾತಾಡ್ಸ್ಬಿಡ್ರಿ ನೋಡಿ.
Yes, Vivek, would you like to take this?
Okay. Yeah. First thing is that people, only when you see the question of social distancing that we are talking about because of this coronavirus is what we need to take into account. whether it is physical distancing or social distancing. Now, social distancing you cannot do away with. You've got to have physical distancing, one can understand. But it is only because of the social distancing, social proximity, that we can talk about, understand the, some areas, understanding the people, understanding things, etc. And also the human approach with among the people is possible only through this kind of a travel and sort of making people to move from one place to another. Basic requirement for human society is that to meet people as human beings, and this is what the kind of a thing that is required. After that, there is of course commercialization, etc. takes place, but this is where the point is, and therefore, unless there is tourism develops, you cannot really think about the peace. You cannot really think about mixing up the people, understanding the people and their woes and difficulties, and that is what we must take up.
Sheldon, you like to add something?
No, I think what the professor said was absolutely fine. And also there is something called the International Institute for Peace Through Tourism, which I'm part of. It's based in the US actually. And it works on a very simple premise that every traveler that goes from one country to another or from one region to another is actually an ambassador of peace.
Absolutely.
Because it builds cultural relationships. It builds understanding between people. So if you look at any tourist, any traveler, he's actually an ambassador of peace that goes from one region to another. It's a simple premise actually.
So we all agree that tourism brings peace, right? I think there's no doubt about it. The next question, Rita.
Yeah. This is about the World Heritage Sites. Like the question is, why do some World Heritage Sites in India receive less visitors than they normally should?
Well, I feel that some places in India that may not get the next required number is basically because of connectivity. I think that is one of the main reasons why some places don't get the required number of visitors. I think Madhura will also be able to talk something on this. Madhura, you feel that some tourist sites don't get as much visitors as they should?
Oh, yes, connectivity, as you said, is one, and infrastructure availability for the tourists who visit there is another one. And also the promotion. It also depends on the way we promote to the target audience and how well we can attract them to that particular, create an interest in them to visit the place. That is what is required.
Yeah, do you think Hampi should get more visitors?
Of course, it should.
Yeah.
But then there is the heat part of it, like 6 months of the year, so one can't really step outside because it is an open destination, as we
It's
say.
too hot.
No,
Straight
but I
on.
think, yeah, but I think there is also another aspect to it. At times, the interests of the people differ, and therefore, some people may be interested at a given time. People may be, because of the TV, internet facilities, etc. They may be interested in particular kind of travel, and therefore, this also is part of the thing. It is also developed because of the political intervention or political class, which has because of the popular culture, which is being
And also the digital influence right now. Yeah.
absolutely. So basically the popular culture, which gets emphasis by from different ways, also gives makes a particular destination popularity. Yeah.
Thanks.
So next,
Yeah.
yeah. So this is about the present times actually. How do you see global travel planning out in next 6 months?
I think Sheldon answered the question. Madhura
Yeah.
also answered something. My personal view is that in times like this, you see, to be very honest, the mind says it's going to be tough. The heart says we will still hang on there. So at times like this, I am just ruled by my heart, and I hope to hang on there for some time because the global travel situation today is very, very fluid. and none of us can make any comments on how fast it will improve. But the next 6 months are probably going to be the most difficult months as we come to terms with the most important thing, which is the unpredictability of travel. Travel is not going to be predictable. The second problem in this is that unless insurance companies step in and offer some kind of a trip cancellation at the last minute and are willing to pay for all your expenses if there is a sickness or some kind of thing, unless these kind of measures come up, and finally the vaccine is the most important thing, because rapid testing may be okay for some extent in developed countries, but vaccine is, I feel, the most important thing that will help us, sail through this most difficult times.
Yes, right now
What-
survival is on top
Yeah,
of everything.
Correct.
but I think that the very development of fearing the fear has created more panic than because of this corona spread. The fear has been one of the factors which is preventing people from this. Because
Yeah,
now,
absolutely.
now there is a problem of even suspecting even the proper normal individual. That you are putting a blame on the individual that somebody is going to suspect, is going to allow you to get infested. So therefore, you are there is a blot on the individual society itself or individuals in society that there is the fear. Now, unless this fear of fear, and this has happened because of the unplanned lockdown which has been developed by or imposed by the government.
Thank you. Rita?
Yeah. This is more about the human behavior, okay? Does social behavior of a person change at a tourist location?
It has to. I mean, I can think about some examples. See, the spitting in India is very common. But the same people, when they go to Singapore, what happens? They have got to keep their mouth shut and spit in a particular designated places if they want to this thing. Otherwise, they had it. Speaking, like for example, stealing is much common, or pickpocketing in Mumbai is quite common. To go to the places like this thing, or rather stealing as a factor in Dubai, and see what happens. If you are, so problem is that people they need to change their they need to understand, to change and behave in a manner which is expected of that particular given society where they travel.
Yeah, I think I personally think that behavior of a person changes a little bit, because I feel that unless the person adapts, in terms of his behavioral style, you will find it very difficult to adjust to a new destination. Because I think the norms that you carry in your own home is something you may not be able to follow in a foreign destination. One of the best examples that I have is when I have these inbound tourists who come to India, and these people, most of them are pure non-vegetarians. But I noticed that within 3 or 6 hours, they are all ready to have the first vegetarian meal, which they do for the next 15 days. So I think there is some kind of tourism does influence social behavior to some extent. Also, the point is that the acceptability or the amount of relaxation that a tourist has is normally something you will not see in daily lives. So tourists are much more relaxed, more adaptable to change, are more willing to learn from other cultures, and that is, I think, the beauty of tourism. That's the biggest plus point of tourism.
Yeah. Next. Okay. This is like, do we see a huge change in demands of modern day travelers as compared to those of yesteryears, like say 20 years back?
Sheldon?
I think again, I kind of touched upon that in what I was saying first, but I think modern day travelers in any case are far more demanding because they're far more well informed. A traveler today goes to a hotel and he dictates the rates, saying that he's got 10 rates on the internet and why don't we match it? Or he goes to the travel agent and says, I want to go to this destination. It doesn't ask him where should I go. And besides telling him this destination, he tells him that I want to go to these places in this destination. This is what it costs. And then of course this technology. So that's equipping everybody with a lot of things. But the coronavirus has kind of changed all of this, and it's leveled the playing field for the travel agent, which is what I said. So I think the travel agent will come back in a very big way as a travel advisor and as a travel consultant. And I don't think the main drawback of technology was that you couldn't speak to someone. And when you're in trouble, you can't call someone and ask them what to do. And that's what a travel agent can do. So it's going to balance out this new age demand with the old world help that the travel agent used to do. And I think in the next 12 to 18 months, that's what we're going to see.
But I think also the modern day traveler has a different set of expectations when he goes, when he or she, they want to be quite actively involved in everything. That's what I also noticed.
Yeah, experience everything.
More of experiential.
Yeah, culture, yes.
This is something that I've noticed a lot, this kind of behavior. So tourists are not just happy at going home at 7 o'clock in the evening. They want to hang around, maybe do some pubbing, maybe some shopping. And I think the average time for a modern day tourist is, I think, close to 11 or 12 at night, rather than the normal 9 that we used to have when we had groups. The day would be over at 9, but today's traveler wants to be out and is not willing to arrive back home. And I think the more the destinations realize that it's important that we have some kind of facilities, it's only then that you will be able to get more of the younger travelers, which is between the age group of between 15 to 40. Otherwise, travelers are going to look elsewhere. And there is, as Sheldon also knows and Madhura also knows, there is no shortage of destinations in the world today.
Also, I think the age of group travel is well and truly over. I mean, that's going to get diminished at a very quick rate. I think the FIT, families and groups of friends, that's what's going to happen. I don't think these regular large company
groups,
mass travel is out. Yeah,
traveling together, that's not going to happen.
Yeah. Madhura, you like to add something?
Yeah, mass travel is a passé, at least for a few years now. And it will be family and visiting friends and relatives, and weekend travel, extended weekend travel by road, by self-drive, avoiding public transport to some level till they get, confident of traveling with others.
Correct. Thank you.
Yeah, that's all.
So, Rita, that's all?
Yeah, that's all from my side.
Okay, so I will just make
Thank you, everyone.
Can
Yeah.
Sorry.
Hector, you need me?
Yeah, just a minute, Thomas. We're almost done.
Now, I think there is a important thing is that when a destination develops, is also because of the kind of information which is available, accessibility to the internet and information availability. One, secondly, spread of education also will be able to. If the more the society gets educated, more the travelers will be developed, I think. And that is what is required to be understood also from a point of view of the traveling and destination point of view. I must add a last point. I think, Hector, you have developed a very good data. And what I was talking at a very abstract level, I think you have collaborated with the RISING, etc. And thank you very much for giving us a very RISING. And it is actually fitting into the issue of what I was talking about, whether it is the perspective in terms of which I spoke about, or also the kind of a way I was trying to see the other aspects, which is primarily talking about the certain aspects of tourism, which I talked about, some 8 of them. So I think it is quite linked, and your thing. I would like to have your the presentation that you have done. Maybe we could write some more articles on that and things like this. Should be, and we should be able to develop, if it is possible, to develop a kind of a course on this. Should be it will be much better.
Definitely. Thank you, Vivek. I think that developing a course is the next logical step.
Yeah.
And I think what is happening is that we need to advance our studies and make tourism a science, you see.
Absolutely.
Tourism should become a science. Unless it becomes a science, we'll all be behaving in our own whimsical manners. And the good part of travel is that the whole world, comprising 7 billion people, are all travelers. The bad part is everybody thinks he's an expert, and no one is willing to listen to anybody else. And this ultimately can bring about some kind of challenges especially in the industry. And I think that we need to be willing to share our thoughts. We must be willing to share our data. We should look at making it a science, like an actual science, and look that in future, whenever we want to predict the life of a destination, we are able to do it systematically and not in a haphazard or abstract manner. So I would like to now give the vote of thanks. Firstly, I would like to thank all the panelists. Madhura Katti, thank you very much for joining today. We
was a
appreciate
pleasure.
your participation. We hope you
Pleasure.
enjoyed the event.
Yes.
I'd like to thank Sheldon Sandwan. In spite of his very busy schedule, I hardly can talk to him maybe once in 15 days. Thank you, Sheldon, for joining us. I do hope you enjoyed this presentation. It was a little different, no? I think so.
Yeah,
So
good.
it was a little different perspective, not so much talking about the future, but here we've talked about the past, no? We will use data to talk about the past and how it could be used for the future. Thank you, Vivek, for all your comments and your opening remarks. And you are a good friend of mine, so I know we can take this further. And you have done immense help in the field of sociology, and I have also, we have shared in very interesting conversations over a glass of beer or a drink. So thank you, Vivek. And I would also like to thank Rita Lina D'Souza for preparing the slides and being present for all our meetings. And, actually I have all the ideas and then she converts it into words or into matter that we can then project to the rest of the world. Thank you, Rita. Thank
Thanks
you,
so
Mr.
much.
Thomas.
Can I?
Thank you. Sorry.
I think what Sheldon was talking about, he should be able to write it in a perspective kind of a thing for what is the prospects of tourism in Corona time. Maybe he could write something and share it with us. It would
Yeah,
be
definitely,
very nice.
definitely. I'm in touch with them.
Maybe you should request him to write down the thing, because he had certain good points and ideas on this count, and it is definitely a kind of a futuristic vision also from the point of view.
Absolutely.
I definitely will. I will share that in a PPT with Hector, and he can then send it out to you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Sheldon. And I would like to thank Thomas Kuncharia, Kerala Holiday Mart, for introducing all of us. I don't know. Thank you, Thomas, for all your help. Also, the technical details. Where are you? I can't see you.
I'm there. I'm here.
I hope you watched the whole presentation.
Yes, I
Thank
did.
you very much. And last but not the least, I want to thank my daughter Keisha D'Souza for making this very beautiful drawing that you see yesterday of the Taj Mahal. She sat for 6 hours and did this hand painting and drawing with,
Very beautiful.
with a pencil. So thank you, Keisha. And I want to thank all of you who have patiently sat through this whole presentation. As someone said, it's a bit futuristic. I don't know, but I feel that's the need of the hour. And I do hope you enjoyed this presentation. I have done my best. We will incorporate new ideas for our new presentations and future presentations and make things more interesting for all of you. I also wish you all the best, all of you in this business, these very difficult times. I do hope you are able to generate sufficient business in the next coming months. And I do hope that you will all taste success in the next, within 1 year, I hope. I'm just hoping. So thank you all once again. And we will meet again the next time. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.